Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil look me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stared at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk.
Hey Internet, Dracofunk here, and this is actually part 6 of my 60 subscriber challenge, which we've now passed 70 subscribers, and we are driving a Rover to the North Pole. And before we can do that, we're going to drop off Chadorf here at Point Echo and pick up. Uh-oh, why is it saying my hatch is... Oh, because Chadorf is not in the crew compartment. Yeah, so let's do that. We are going to pick up a passenger here at Point Echo, and Chadorf is going to stay here. If they don't get stuck. Today we are going to be traveling to Point Foxtrot, and I'm a little bit concerned about the terrain. So if you watched the last video, I said if we reach 70 subscribers before I finish recording all these, I would do an episode in first person. I made it. It was very slow going, and I did not end up going. I had to do some backtracking, and it turned out that this was the first episode where the terrain got really rough. I also messed up and used a whole bunch of extra battery right at the beginning, and that led to me almost running out of battery by the end. And the biggest thing was it just took way too long. Alright, so Dr. Orgnag has joined us, and he's going to ride in the Highway 47 studio today. We're going to retract the ladder, take down the dishes, satellite dishes, that is. Okay, so we are here at Point Echo, and we need to go to Point Foxtrot. In order to do that, so this is going to be a little bit, I'm a little bit worried because we kind of need to go due north, and it doesn't look friendly. So I'm just going to have to go some way around here and then follow the coast, and it really looks kind of scary. I'm going to do something I haven't actually done this whole trip, and that is do a quick save here. Alright. Well, brakes on, brakes off. So there. We have to control it from there. So let's see. So I think the best way to go is actually to head up this valley and then turn point north. And it's still not going to be great. Now, wait a minute. That's not right. This is the way I need to go. So, I need to head through this. I need to get around this crater, come up this valley, and get around that mountain, and then head up the coast. So I'm going to need to be checking my directions a lot. And monitoring my electricity. So let's depart. I haven't been paying attention. I didn't set a timer again, but let's do that now. There we go. So yeah, I want to go, I guess I kind of want to go this way. And hopefully this journey isn't too treacherous. I've been very lucky so far. I think I maybe had some close calls the last episode, some which I didn't fully see because I was in first person, so that was either really good or really bad. I don't know. And I want to keep a heading of about 310, just under 315. Let's see if we can keep the speed up a little bit. Keep the mountains to the left. And the goal is to keep this episode under an hour. I very, very much failed to do that the last episode. Actually, the last episode, I barely kept it under 3 hours, but that was doing I think a large part of that was due to the first person and backtracking. So the problem is today I can't go straight towards target because I have to navigate around all these mountains. Hopefully you can't hear my cats fighting in the background. And I'm gonna have to keep zooming out today to help navigate through this terrain. So we do have hills that we'll be going over. And down and around. And hopefully we have no accidents today. We have, honestly, other than, so the drama we had in the first episode was not enough electricity. Our batteries ran down. The third episode was I added more batteries in a whole other section, and then I messed it all up by using all the extra battery power because I couldn't figure out that the brakes were sticking on one of the cars. The third episode, the big drama was I got myself into a situation where I had to leave, and it took longer than I expected. I'm probably forgetting something. I know in the last episode, the big drama was I was all in first person and it went really long. I got lost, and by lost, I went the wrong way. I was trying to avoid a certain section and I drove right into it. And the only thing I could do was backtrack. And I'm trying to avoid that. Like, there's that big crater section. I'm just skirting the outside of it. And I need to get through these hills. And I have to make sure. So, this big hill to the right, once I get past that, I need to go right. And if I'm not careful, it looks like I want to go to the left and travel up that peninsula, but that is incorrect. With all the cars on here, this vehicle tends to pull to the right a little bit. I found that the more cars I add, the more to the right it pulls. Unfortunately, I think that has something to do in the design, and can't really fix that now. make sure I don't run into any trees. And so, hey, I assume everybody... I'm losing my voice. That's bad on doing a commentary to lose your voice. Anyway, I assume everybody has by now heard that this morning SLS launched Artemis 1 mission, which is an unmanned test of the Orion space capsule flying to the moon. It finally successfully launched last night. It should have made its burn to start traveling to the moon. So it will leave Earth orbit, go and orbit the moon, and then return. I believe the return date is December 11th. So it's gonna be there for quite a while. It has now been the SLS is now the most powerful rocket to ever launch. So Saturn V was 7.6 million pounds of thrust, and SLS was 8.8. I'm just checking my course. So this is the hill I need to go around, and it looks a little bit nicer if I head this way. It's a little bit flatter. I can keep the speed up. And once I get around through this, there is a little bit of a valley that it doesn't seem to be, I'm not going to say it's like great to drive through, but it is not as treacherous as some of the other areas. So the big news is SLS has launched successfully. Also this week, Monday I believe it was, Starship did a static fire of 14 engines, which until SLS launched this morning made it the most powerful active rocket system thus far not to have launched. That was Falcon Heavy, I believe, until this morning. So now the next step for SLS, once it has landed, they will repeat the mission, but this next time will be a manned mission, but that will not happen until it is scheduled May of 2024. So it's going to be a decent amount of time. And I'm using quite a bit of electricity today. Like we have 11,200 units total, and I'm going to dip below 9,000. This is quite a big hill. Just trying to keep my speed up. Am I going over the hill that I wanted to avoid? Maybe. I want to look, but at the same time, I don't want to look while I'm going over this hill. So this is where I need to turn and start heading north. There's a little bit of a corridor that seems a little bit better. I might try this when I get to Point Foxtrot to see if this helps my pulling to the right issue, is disconnect the two middle passenger cars and flip them around. I don't know if that will affect the driving. Like, as long as I'm controlling it from the certain direction. And maybe that'll keep it from pulling to the right so much. So where's that passage? Okay, so I'm going to come up to, there'll be a hill on the left, hills on the right. I need to travel between them and slightly to the left at the end until I get around the mountain range on my right, and then I can start heading up the coast. You would think that right along the coast it would be nice and flat, but that's not always the case. Point Foxtrot is, I don't think it's quite as far away as between like Charlie and Delta, but it's a good distance that I still have to go. Now we have as of Point Echo, we are now into the bases dropped by the second dropper aircraft mission. We are ascending quite far. Like, we were down 200 meters above sea level when we started, and we've passed 600. We're coming up on 640, passing 640. just want to make sure I crest this hill. Okay, now you can see there's the mountain range on the right and the mountain range on the left. I wouldn't call them, actually they're probably part of the same mountain range, but in between them is a kind of a valley that is a little bit flatter and not quite as, it's not as bad as trying to drive up those big hills and mountains. We are still ascending, which we're coming up on half battery power, which could be a problem. I'm hoping that the sun will help recharge the photovoltaic panels. A bit. And I can just keep heading basically straight for now, and I'll have to turn left once I get a little bit up here. I'm having a little bit of extra frame dropping today, and I'm not sure what's causing that. I might have to like pop out in a minute and see if I can fix that. So this is the valley between the two hills that I'm trying to get into. Hey, I forgot to, I wasn't watching the clock, I was probably distracted. Hey, so 25 minutes in here, I would like to thank all of our Patreons. I know there's not a lot, but I'd love to have more, and I will show your name on the screen. And if you join right now, I'm running a special. If you join in the $3 tier, you can become a passenger for the reusable space program. You will have a Kerbal named after your username, school appropriate username, and hopefully more appropriate than monkey butt. But yeah, you can be a passenger, and if you join before I finish recording the North Pole expedition, you could be one of the passengers traveling to the North Pole base. And if you would like to join at a later time, you can be a passenger on one of the future reusable space program missions. And yeah, so your Kerbal could accompany the crew on a mission, and who knows where you'll end up. Could be Enterprise Station, traveling to the Mun, or Minmus. I have a base on the Mun. I am going to be putting a base on Minmus. And actually, I'm probably going to be putting a couple small bases or outposts at the poles of the moon, both of them. So I did say, and I'll probably make a short video of this, if we can get to 100 subscribers by the end of 2022, I will drive this rover, assuming I make it to the North Pole. If this rover doesn't make it to the North Pole, I guess I'll have to land another one. But if this rover does make it to the North Pole, I will drive it from the North Pole to the South Pole. And also, this video will probably be a little bit late coming out today. Just because, honestly, it's because I stayed up and watched the SLS launch this morning. So the launch window started at 1:04 a.m. and I knew that. Just getting my bearings, so I'm kind of headed in the direction. I have to make a little bit of a left turn so I don't hit the tree. So I didn't get started on making this video. So we got Dr. Orgnag with Ed Steve and Shaggy B, Skrodrick, Kohaku, Vomit, Bill, and me, Dracofunk. Let's see how Vomit and Kohaku are doing. They look a little bit worried. Bill, on the other hand, Bill's fine. I did not quite recover as much battery power as I had hoped. So I'm trying to keep the speed up is what's draining my battery power, and it's also just going up and down all these hills. So it looks like I'll have, for better, I don't know if it's good or not, that I'm going to start heading back down towards sea level at the top of this hill. Just drop below 5,000 units. If I don't keep pushing for speed, I'm not going to make it up this hill. So I wonder what's killing my frame rate today. Whoa. Where are we? So I'm going to let this do a slight turn on its own. It's time to get a screenshot for the slide. There we go. Oh, we're about to go below 4,000 units of electricity. And a lot of this is we are now coming up on 770 meters above sea level and still climbing. I probably should have looked to see the elevation of Point Foxtrot. I always forget to do stuff like that. I always get really nervous as we crest like a big hill like this, like what's on the other side. And I know there's going to be a drop off. We're now below 4,000, still dropping fast. And it'd be okay if I had a nice section where I could just coast. Like I can kind of coast here, but it immediately starts going back uphill, and the pull to the right means I have to keep coming in and adding corrections. But I am going to let it coast for a little while. I'd love to get back over 5,000, but I also want to keep my speed up. Okay. So here we can start making a gradual turn to the right. Not hit this tree. Or this tree. And this is where we basically start heading up the coast. These are big trees. I mean, at first they don't look that big, but really, these are almost redwood-sized trees. At first they don't really look that big, but some of these trees are massive. Like as soon as you get up close to them, you realize how much bigger they are than the Rover. Just trying to pick the direction that I think is going to be the smoothest. I am starting to recharge my batteries a little bit, although I don't like that I'm leaning to the left so much, but I do want to keep an eye. So once I get down this hill, start going down this hill, it seems like I'll be able to see more of what's coming up ahead, at least a little bit, and I'll be able to start heading more so directly towards target, which is Point Foxtrot. I have this bad feeling, though, that good news, this is mostly downhill. Bad news is I'm going to have to use my brakes so I don't speed out of control. But this will allow me to recharge my batteries. But I do want to kind of go down the hill a little bit straighter. Because this Rover can tip over. It's very stable going front to back, but side to side, not so much. Oh. So we have a decent ways to go. Which is unfortunate, but I knew this wasn't going to be 100%. Well, I knew this wasn't going to be easy. But at least now I should be almost good to head straight towards target. That's basically heading up the coast. I do need to pop out and keep taking a look and see what's ahead of me to make sure I don't get myself into trouble like I did last episode. Doesn't look too bad. I may want to head this way a little bit. Actually might use this as the slide. So I'm through the hard section, which the part I was worried about the most was getting through those two mountain areas. Now let's just keep the mountains to my right. And watch my speed going down the hills. And try and let my batteries recharge. So yeah, and we are here, and we need to get up to there. And if this thing didn't want to pull to the right so much, a good portion of this could be hands off, but not at the moment. So we are coming up on 100 meters to sea level, and now we're going back up. So I've gotten a little bit more daring than the first episode. Because the first episode I was trying to keep it around 24 meters per second, and the last couple episodes I've been trying to keep it around 28, 30. It's a little bit harder going up the hills. After I get up this hill, I'm going to have to make more of a left turn and head more towards target. But I want to take this hill more exactly as opposed to on the side. Hey, floating grass. If you are playing the drinking game, now it's time to drink. I feel like if you're playing the drinking game with us, that you're not drinking very much, and that's probably a problem. And now I'm going to turn towards target. Leaning in the not good direction. Well, I don't think I'm going to succeed in keeping this episode under an hour. So let's see if I can keep it under an hour and a half. Back to using more battery than I'd like. This seems steeper. It seems steeper than it probably actually is. Okay. Well, that was a little terrifying. I don't remember what. Once I get to a certain distance from target, the speed level will switch to target, which doesn't really do me any good, just to let me know that I'm getting closer to it, which I'm obviously getting closer to it, but it doesn't tell me how close. Well, we're coming up on the 1 hour mark. And we have a long way to go. We're not even halfway there. Well, the mountains are still there. The ocean is somewhere there. I can't see it. The ocean, the sea. Point Foxtrot is ahead of us. I should have kept a better timer. I'm guessing we're coming up pretty close to the 1 hour mark anytime now. How are we doing? Okay, that low section I want to avoid is to my left. But we do need to start heading this way. I want to go around the tree. I did kind of overshoot the direction I wanted to go a little bit. So what I wanted to do, I guess I can still is I need to get my batteries charged up a little bit more. So I have to go up those two hills, and it looks like there's kind of a natural ramp. So I want to use that to get up there. That's going to eat my batteries pretty bad. Once I get down there a little bit into this valley, I'm seriously considering stopping and letting my batteries charge, because I think I want to have at least 5,000 units of electricity before I get there. I'm just going to try and coast there. I know my speed's going down, but going down a little bit too much. So I'll just coast down this hill. Why am I losing speed? Come on. coast down the hill. Just trying to see if maybe there's some indication of how the wheel's doing. I guess that gives wheel stress of 0.1. I don't really know what that means. What does it say for the front wheel? Well, once I get down there, I guess I'll see what the best way to get up is. There's no way to avoid going up that big hill. And I'm not going to have quite 5,000 units of electricity to do it, but I'm actually going to be kind of close. Like, if you round it up, I'd be there. The throttle. I don't have any rocket engines. Although, if I had some rocket engines, that might actually help me get up this hill. Come on. It's that time of year. So I think the best course is to coast down this big hill and make a left turn, and there seems to be at least a slightly less steep path. Once I get on top of there, it's relatively flat. Then I can head to the coast and head more towards Foxtrot. I'm hoping the journey between Foxtrot and Golf is a little easier. Alright, picking up speed, which is good. Getting my batteries recharged, which is also good. We've passed the 1 hour mark, which is bad. It's bad in that I didn't want, my videos to be quite as long. I know and I'm gonna have a series where I'll do like music videos, and I'll have these go like 16 time acceleration or something. Okay. It's time to do it. Like, I see the section. I need to just start heading towards it. The closer I get to it, the less inviting it seems, but I don't think there's a better way. So I probably should have drove all the way out there and just headed up that ridge, but now I'm coming this way. So all I gotta do is just get to the top. Yeah. Almost there. Notice I've entered another section where there are few trees. All right. is the way I wanted to go. I didn't really want to be leaning this much. That turning up the hill is the best idea. Let's just do this. The really worry on a steep climb like this is if I run out of electricity, I will just start going backwards. And once I stop, it's really hard to get started. Kind of want to keep up your momentum, but I think I'm good now. Vama and Kohaku look very concerned still. All right, now let's see. So I can't head straight towards target because the sea's in the way. So I got to get around this hill to the right and still climb and not run out of battery. Alright, sorry, I got a text and I was thinking about that and forgot that I should also be commentating. So, this hill right here, I need to get around and then start heading more north up the coast instead of heading directly towards target. because if I keep heading towards target, I will fall into the water. And I need to get around this hill a little bit and head north. My big issue right now is I'm very low on electricity. And I still have a pretty decent drive to go. So, actually, I need to head kind of need to head towards the mountains. Just to get around, there's kind of a natural inlet, or not inlet, like a bay section here. Point Foxtrot is on the other side. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it over this ridge with my current battery power. I'm down below 2,000 units. Uh-oh, I've also lost my timer. I didn't lose it, I just clicked off of it. There we are. See, it looks relatively flat, but it's really not. I'm not going to be able to make that climb unless I stop and recharge my batteries. The worst thing that could happen is I actually get I cannot talk. Partially up and run out of electricity, and then I'm stuck on what appears to be kind of a steep incline. So I'm gonna recharge a little bit. I really need to come this way, and this still once I get over there, I need to go around those little lagoons and up the coast, because Point Echo is right about there. Oh man. So yeah, through those lagoons. It's like these later bases are further apart than I thought they were. So I'm going to let my batteries charge, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Had to have a bathroom break. Hey, Monkey Butt looks happy. I'm trying to decide if 3,000 units is enough to get me over that ridge. It may I'm just not sure. Well, here is 3,000. try and actually head this way a little bit. It looks a little less steep this direction. If it looks like I'm not going to make it, I'll abort. Okay. This is the big hill. I want to take it like I want to actually go straight. Almost up. Sorry about clearing my throat there. There we go. Now I need to get to the point where I'm going between the two lagoons. Well, it's not two lagoons, it's kind of like a sand trap. Still traveling upwards. So the next big milestone is to get between there and get around to the next sand trap. I want to drive between the sand trap and the lagoon, and then I think the next one is I want to be to the left of the second sand trap, and once I'm there, I'm actually starting to get pretty close to Foxtrot. But man, I am so far away at the moment. The worst part about being so far away is being this low on electricity. I might actually have to stop and recharge. Pretty much go this way. So I got quite a ways to go. Actually, I need to make sure I go pass on the left of that big hill. So the whole point in dropping the base is, well, it's always good to drop the base. But no, the whole point in dropping the bases along this route are to give me kind of checkpoints and, at least set a small goal for each episode. I probably should have done 4 more bases. The last 2 have been they've taken a little bit longer to get to than I would have liked. I'm now having to be a little bit conservative on electricity. The good news is I'm going downhill right now, and I can let the batteries recharge some. And I feel like I'm making better time than I have been. I'm almost to the lagoon and the sand pit. It's just beyond this hill. And then I just have to keep traveling around the bay, and I will eventually make it to Foxtrot. Although doing so in under 2 hours is seeming very unlikely. A little bit concerned when the whole rover when the rover plus 4 cars all get airborne. So, if you've stuck with me this long, appreciate it. If you're just listening to me, that's understandable too. Check out our other videos. We do commentaries on movies. We had planned on recording the 1979 Captain America this week. Unfortunately, Shaggy B was not feeling well and wasn't able to join us, and we really wanted him there for that episode, so instead, me and Vomit, who were the only ones available that evening, we watched Battle Beyond the Stars, the 1980s, scored by James Horner, sci-fi thriller Battle Beyond the Stars. It was a thing. That should come out this Friday around 5 p.m. is our usual 4-drink minimum release times. The past couple weeks they have been running a little bit late due to just our general busyness. I'm not sure how I want to get around this hill. Okay. Just gonna go with this. I don't think I want to get all the way down in that valley, or maybe I do. I think I do. This might be a mistake. This might be a mistake. Braking a little bit. Now I get to the bottom here. Start turning to the left a bit. But not too hard because I don't want to tip. Over this ridge, I should see the sand trap and the lagoon, and I need to head between them. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of first person as we come over the ridge. Just want to keep an eye on my speed. Here's the problem. I think I had wanted to, not go this fast. Don't know what the best way to get around these sand traps. I wanted to go between the lagoon and the sand traps. I'm gonna try and keep that plan. Try and keep that plan. I'm a little bit concerned with how steep that hill is, but I'm more concerned with how steep that hill is. It looks like I probably honestly should have went up and that way, but I didn't do that, and it's too late to do that now. Picking up a lot of speed. Basically went ahead straight for the time being. Get up these hills because I have the sand traps to my left. What's on the other side of this? Okay, it's not bad. Try and head yeah, I gotta get up over this hill. Head this way a bit. So I need to get over this section some. Okay, I am leaning a lot. Oh, now it's better. Yeah, pretty much head this way. Up that big hill. Okay, the next big milestone is, I think it's like the 2 sand traps. Which quite a ways away. can't even see Foxtrot on the map yet. So the problem is, when I dropped it with the aircraft, I just flew over the inlet, or the bay, or whatever you want to call it. And I didn't really realize how far away it was. And also didn't quite realize how rough the terrain itself was. I'm starting to think I might actually have to park and let the batteries recharge and end the episode halfway between Point Echo. So we might have to do part 6.5, because I don't even see Point Echo yet on the map. And I can't do a 4-hour video. So I think what I'm going to have to do is get to the top of this hill, and we're going to have to park it there for the day and come back, and hopefully Friday we can make it the rest of the way to Point Echo, or not Echo, Point Foxtrot. Foxtrot's where I'm going. That way I can start basically the second half of this trip with full batteries and also that way I'm not starting to feel so rushed. Because we're probably at the 2-hour mark, and not quite even halfway there. So, yeah, that's about the halfway point. And I'm a little bit concerned because the next golf and hotel are also. So this 9-part series is going to be at least a 10-part series. And I'm starting to think it might be a 12-part series, because I'm probably going to have to stop halfway point between the next 2 episodes as well. Hey guys, if you watch this far, I really super appreciate it. You can join our Patreon. If you don't want to do the $3 tier to become a passenger, that's fine. Or if you want to do even more, that's fine as well. If you don't want to be a passenger, you can just donate to the Patreon. It really helps out. Like, subscribe, watch our other videos. We try and do Let's Plays Monday at 5. I don't think we had one come out this week, just it's been a busy week, but we do have 4 Drake Minimums coming out Friday evenings. We usually have TV shows coming out, TV show commentaries. We're going through the Orville, Lower Decks. We stagger those. We get them out when we can. But anyway, thanks guys, and I will see you next time.